are fucking fun, pal. Factor that fucking in to your druggo fucking offensive type. Health fucking warning. There ain't a lot that's fun, pal. Old age and school and dreams of a life that will never be. Sexless nights, wasted schemes. Your horizon still receding. Speeding hope that's fruitless. Sudden cliff and skidding. Then descent to twisted rest.
Sacred temple of the Emperor Buddha, serene and total peace.
They're not fun.
I'll just, before I move on to anything, I was just saying I listened to fucking Steve's podcast with you and Fletcher, and I like that. That was good.
Oh yeah.
I wrote down the name of it because I couldn't remember the name of it. But I listened, Wrestling is Ridiculous.
Wrestling is ridiculous.
Yeah, I enjoyed listening to those two, and there was one with Mark Adams as well. So it kind of made me think where, like, I don't know if this is like a spoiler in the thing. I was going to record like a big fat fucking horrible like 3-hour long thing of me going over all the wrestling for the last 2 months and go over XPW and all this shit. And I was like, right, you know what? I can't be fucked doing that. So I think potentially I might start doing something with me and somebody else on Spotify. Because it would genuinely save me so much more fucking time. Because I don't have to like film anything. I can just record it and we can do it every week and it'll only take like an hour or two and it just saves so much time. So I might start doing that.
Yeah. I mean, we did like a weekly one for about 2 years, but we didn't put anything out. Well, obviously it's different because it's like time sensitive what you're doing, but we did like 2 months worth of shows before we'd put anything out, and then we had a buffer in case we missed anything, like a week where we couldn't do it or whatever.
That's not too bad. Yeah, but you guys, I listened to some of your guys' ones. They're really, really good. There's like about movies and like films and stuff as well, though, which is fine because you can just kind of go back because they're kind of timeless in a way. Whereas
that's it. Yeah.
When it's wrestling, when it's bullshit, like I've had all this fucking crap today. I might go on to speak about some of it. I don't know. There's been a lot of shit going on with like XPW and Drake Younger's left and he's went to a different company. And the Deathmatch, I don't know if anybody cares about this, but the Deathmatch like fan form stuff is ridiculous. The UK one's fine.
Yeah, it's ludicrous. Well, it's what I was saying on that podcast. What I always say, it's just people arguing about the same people. They're just the same people work everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the problem? And it's just like, I don't like XPW, I like ICW. But it's just like, it's kind of the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Obviously it's not, but it's just like, it's all the same people that are on the same shows. And it's the same person that books a lot of the like English people to go on all the shows.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, it's stupid. But no, I don't. I mean, I've seen bit. I don't really look at it. I've been flyering in it.
Yeah.
But no, I don't really look at it at all.
No, it's the thing is the UK Deathmatch one on Facebook that Sam runs. Give Sam a shout out. That's always fine. Everybody's always quite polite and everybody just puts over stuff and talks about everything. But then you get the American ones of that Deathmatch Elite and stuff where it's just sort of pointless. Deathmatch is a niche of a niche of a niche.
Yeah. Are we recording now? Is this?
Oh no, I mean we could add it in or take it out. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean we could add this in.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's the same thing I would say as what there was last night on AEW. They did a.
I wrote that down. I was gonna speak to you about that.
I mean, I've not watched it yet, but I will watch it. But it won't be a proper deathmatch because it's on ITV, but it's on it's just people walking about.
I don't want to ruin it for you, but like the whole premise of it is it's not going to be. It's not Nick Gage is there, but I mean they obviously did do a deathmatch, but like. There's a new. I mean, I know you're like a more old school video game guy.
I've seen what it's about.
Yeah.
I've seen the belt as well, so now I've got to watch it.
I mean, I've watched it now twice, but it's the game is for anybody that doesn't know, it's the same as the Friday the 13th game, where you pick people that are trying to escape, or you pick somebody who's Leatherface or members of the family, and you chase them about. So it's just advertisement for that. Whereas when like you were speaking about that on Steve's podcast, where like RoboCop there, was that to advertise a film? It must have been to advertise something.
It was about the time RoboCop 2 came out. But RoboCop saved Sting from the Four
Yeah,
Horsemen.
which is fine, but it's like if you want to put that in a show, but like the only reason they're doing that for Jeff Jarrett against Hardy is to advertise that game. Whereas you would think that it's going to get traction, and they probably got a lot of money for it. But surely you could have just put up a minute-long advert for the game.
Yeah.
Rather than, but
you know, it's wrestling, isn't it? It's all silly.
Exactly.
But I want to watch it just because it just seems like a stupid idea.
What I did think they were going to do, and what they've done is a lot worse. Well, not a lot worse, but I'd say it's a lot more lazy. I don't know if you remember, it was like a couple of years ago now. I think it was before the pandemic. It was Orton against Wyatt, and they fought in like a house in the middle of nowhere. House of Horrors. I thought they were going to do that.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like in the family home, wasn't it?
There was like dolls with like no heads like hanging. I thought they were going to like do like a sort of mock-up of the Leatherface, the house, and have them.
That's what I assumed it is. Is it not that?
No. It's all in the arena, because that's what I thought. Was like, oh, that'll be quite cool. They can like what was the name? Matt Hardy and Jeff did, what was that called? The Final Deletion.
Final Deletion, yeah.
I thought it was going to be like that, and I was like, that's going to be kind of interesting, and they could have like Jeff Jarrett could have a chainsaw and chase him around the house. But I'd watch it because it's kind of crappy, but whatever. But anyway, that's enough. Fucking AEW.
I like crappy.
Well, yeah, but it was crap to the point where it was. I mean, I might speak to you about this. It's in the same way that recently me and my girlfriend went and watched the Meg 2. Where, but like the Meg 2 was crap, but it wasn't like funny crap. It was boring, which is
right. Is it? I've not seen it yet.
It's like I wanted like the Jeff Jarrett, Jeff Hardy, and the Meg 2 for that matter to go completely batshit crazy, but it was just kind of, you were like looking at your watch the whole film. But anyway, it's enough of me shitting on the Meg 2. I was looking forward to that. This is gonna be great. But it's not great. But anyway, what was I going to say? At the last show, New Blood, and I did want to bring up this. You should have called this show coming up on Sunday Sold Out.
What? As in like the
WCW,
the NWO?
Yeah. Like because obviously the last show was sold out, but that was just my idea in my head. I do like Demolition as a name. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's taken us nearly 2 years to do something Demolition Derby based.
Oh yeah, that's Demolition Derby. That's a good. I never even thought about that. What was I going to say?
Speaking of which, it's like at the end of this month. It marks 2 years since we've started this company, which
that's
is
ridiculous. I think this will be from. I think this is the 9th show. I think
this is the 9th show.
The 9th show, yeah, which is fucking mental. Think about it.
So the next one will be Kumite X.
It will, yeah. You should have to do it like
we'll be in space.
In space, yeah. You'll need to do something with like Jason and shit like that. Oh, that's fucking cool. You'll definitely need to do something like that. So that'll be, because I think this will be. I'll not be there this weekend, which is a shame. But I was at the last show for New Blood, which was a sellout, which was great.
Yeah, it was. It was a mad day. It was a fucking bonkers day because the weather was horrendous before the show.
Yeah.
And then literally as we were about to start, it stopped raining. And then we had the interval and it hammered it down again. Mm-hmm. And then it stopped raining. And the only match it rained in was Clint and Tommy's match. And that suited it really well.
Yeah. Because I think
it looked really cool.
I think I messaged that to you, yeah. Like it's on when we were there live, obviously you're just watching it live. But when you're watching it back on IWTV, it kind of looks cool with the rain for the camera. Like it looks like it should, it's like an effect, but it's not. Like it's actual real rain, if that makes any sense. But yeah, the show was really, really good. But I think that the what's the word for them? The deathmatch gods were on your side that day, kind of. Because I mean, it did stop raining for a majority of the show, and you had that big tarp, and everything seemed fine, and it was only that one match that it kind of actually fucking like rained for. So it's pretty good.
It's weird. I mean, it happens every time. The weather's looking good for Sunday as well.
That'll be good.
We joke me and Fletch say that we sacrifice a baby to Big Daddy every Saturday before the show in the garden. And we say...
And it works. It works.
That's it.
It was going to say, to go through the show, yes, we had...
we sing We Shall Not Be Moved.
That's true. Just as a sacrifice the thing. What was this? This might just be me being thinking in my head. Was it going to be? You don't have to tell me, because obviously it's all insider or whatnot. Was the last show going to be one more match and then they got added together because of the rain? Was it?
No.
Was that meant to be the setup? That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, luckily we planned just the 6 matches. We might have stuck something else in.
Yeah.
Had we had time to, but luckily we only had 6 matches. So,
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
And the main event was pretty long, so.
Yes, it was great. Which is probably I would say it's probably. I'll go on to speak about the main event, but obviously the first match you got Belushi and Owens against Roughneck and Jason Joshua with Mark Adams. I would have to say that any show that's got the Roughneck on it is made better by his presence, because he's fucking excellent. I think the first time I saw him was the last year's show with you guys. But he's obviously been doing it for like ages and ages and ages. But like he's fucking excellent. He's always funny, and any time I see the Roughneck, I'm like, right, you know you're gonna get an entertaining match. But that match was pretty good, and it's kind of set up the story for Sunday, where you've got Roughneck against where Owens is probably going to get the shit kicked out of him again. So that'll all be good.
Yeah, we'll have to see. This one's like street fight rules, though.
Okay.
So it's going to be a bit different. I mean, pretty much looking at the lineup for Sunday, it's pretty much all street fights at minimum.
I've got the card on my phone where we go for this one, because I wrote down there we go, Kumite. That's always handy though when you guys put the post up where it's got Kumite in the middle and it's got the matches around the side. So
that's what I luckily used it to write all this down. About half an hour ago.
No, it's like exactly the same with me. But then we got the second match, which I did love the drone footage, which was great. That was excellent. With Bennett against Joe. That match was great. I even got colour. I even got my leg cut in that, which was fun.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was only a flesh wound, as they say. Only a flesh wound.
Yeah.
But but it was fine. Who cares? But like, I know Jack hurt his hand, but that match was great, and I did not expect fucking Jack to win that as well. And I was like, holy fuck! Like I was like, Jesus Christ! But that match was really, really good. I remember checking on Joe after it, and I was like, is your hand okay? I was like, why did you do that? When he chopped him, I was like,
oh yeah, he just goes straight into his hand.
I was like, why did you do that? Fucking hell, wear some gloves. But no, that match was really, really good. But I think that as well, it kind of broke up the show, because I was expecting it to just be like the last half be like deathmatch heavy. Then it was kind of like a split up with Joe and Bennett as the second match. But yeah,
you never know what's going to happen at Kumite now.
It's good.
Literally anything can happen.
Yeah.
So fucking with you.
But it's good. It's good to mix up. Then there was Gallus and Kingsley against Thorne and Harris at Hellbound. I called it during the match. I was like, that's going to be a death match with Kingsley and Thorne is, and I think that'll be really, really good, because I think Kyle Kingsley's sort of as a heel and shit, especially at that show. He had a Triple H sledgehammer and everything.
That's it.
But I think that I mean, aside from obviously I'm not going to be there unfortunately, but I think that's the match that I'm genuinely most looking forward to, is Thorne against Kingsley on the show coming up this Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be a banger. Obviously, they've been building it up for a while, and they've been going back and forth since the start of the year. Mm-hmm. Kingsley's never had a full-on death match before. Like at the last show, that's the first time he's ever hit anyone with a light tube or anything like that. So,
but I think sometimes with people like that, they've never done it before, or like it's them sort of been thrown in at the deep end. I think a lot of times people excel. I think they don't know, like he might only do one death match his entire life, but it might be fucking excellent. You never know. That's why it's always good to give people like that like a chance to like sort of do that. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And then you got Nixon against Franco Fate as well, which was lovely to see Franco and Nixon. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Well, that's like I said as well. We just wanted two guys that were just going to beat the shit out of each other. We're trying to sort of like I say, we're mixing it all up. And I think we've done quite a good job of mixing it up this year.
Yeah.
And we did the same thing with Elton Thorne and Gary J. But having Franco Fate and Lou Nixon, we wanted Franco in for a while. He's a local guy. We've known for a bit.
Yeah.
And he's got a similar sort of style to Lou, so it just seemed that they're similar sort of stature. So we just knew they'd have a good match, and just basically just said to them, just do what you like, and make it look cool.
Yeah.
And they did, and they just battered each other.
Which is what you want.
Yeah. So it's nice, because we always try to do this sort of extreme wrestling element to it, whereas it's still extreme, but there's no weapons involved. Like hard hitting shoot wrestling, brother.
Oh yeah. That's what everybody wants, is the shooting. Everybody wants people to shoot on each other. and things like that. And you think, oh, dearie me. And then obviously Clint against Tombe, which was their, I was going to say it was their second match of that weekend. Because they had Clint had fucking, I think, who else was there for like 3, it might have just been Clint, who would have been on all 3 shows.
I think it was Clint was on all 3, but pretty much everybody else was on TNT.
On TNT on the Friday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that match as well, for them to have that from... I've still not seen that. I don't think that TNT shows up on whatever the fuck it's on. Progress? Something? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they've started a new one.
There's some sort of YouTube thing. There's too many things. There's too many. I went to cancel like Netflix, and then we got it back, and I thought, why did I do that? Why have I got this Netflix? Like, there's too much like streaming things, but hopefully we do get to see that because it looked like a fucking great show from the clips and everything I've seen. But yeah, fucking Clint wrestling, Tombe, Janela, Tombe, like pretty big fucking weekend, and still looking fucking great. Like, fuck that.
Oh yeah, I mean, he don't fuck about, Clint. I mean, what I love about Clint is he's no fucking nonsense. There's no... If you see it on the TV, like, everyone takes a while to get to the ring. Clint is just straight down the stairs, straight in the ring, ready to go. But yeah, that was a great match. I mean, there's sort of like Tom is a ludicrous man when it comes to like his character work is amazing.
Two seconds, man. Sorry.
Okay.
I just got a little thing clicked up on my thing. It was like low battery in your laptop. I was like, I'm almost set, and then you know when you pull it in the wall and you didn't actually turn it on, like a prick. Anyway, yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Tombe. I love just giving him the you know the free reign to do what he wants because we just give him, like we do with everyone, give everyone like a loose idea, loose arc, if you like, of what we want him to do, and then just say, put as many ideas in as you want. I mean, we've got some great stuff for Tom coming up on Sunday as well when he's fighting.
Oh, that's one thing I will go in to speak about. I love. We'll speak on about him next, and then obviously the main event for that show was Gonzalez and Darko, which I think was probably the best match I think Gonzalez has had.
I think you'd go to say it's just the whole show in general. I mean, I've said this before, on show day I don't really get to see a lot of what's actually happening. Because me and Fletch are running around like twats. And for the majority of the day I'm sort of at behind the sound desk in the corner, unless there's sort of like glass involved, and then I'm shielding people from glass. So I don't really get to see it until we get to the final edit and get to do comms. But that show, it just the whole vibe of it is perfect. The sound of the crowd at the end of the main event, while Darko's just walking away covered in blood, it's fucking wicked. I think nobody gave a shit that it was raining.
No.
Nobody gave a shit. And it's just we all did something really special, I think, on that day. And a lot of people are taking notice of it. But Antonio and Darko, both of them stepping up to another level. The change in Darko since he became, like, obviously the match that he won the belt in was insane. But this was his first defense, and he's a different person in a good way. Like, he's just stepped up that he's that much better than he was before.
I like how now he's got the belt, he's now wearing the sunglasses. Where he's like, you know what, he's like the cool Darko now, where he's got the belt and shit. That match was excellent, and especially that fucking spinning lariat at the end. I fucking lost my shit. I was like, oh my god, and then that was the finish as well. I was like, oh holy shit.
Yeah.
What a fucking match. And then we went out drinking afterwards, and I was sick in a bin. And then I can't remember what happened afterwards, to be honest. I think we went back to... I wasn't that drunk during the show, but it was good being in Derby, and whatever that pub we were in, I can't remember what it was called.
Oh god, we went to the Dolphin. It's like...
Yes.
It's okay. It's just a bit of a gloomy place, to be honest.
It was a bit... But I think it was something, me and Fletch were at the bar, and I was drinking some sort of ale that had what the fuck's the name of that band that Bruce Dickinson's in? Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
And I was drinking some of that, and I was like, oh, what the fuck's this shit? But anyway, aye.
Yeah, it's that sort of place. It's like a proper sort of old man pub, but it's like a sad old man pub. I mean, I don't mind it. We went there just to meet some mates of ours who don't live in Derby, so it's just they knew that pub, so we went there.
Yeah, it was alright. It was reasonable. As long as it's cheap enough, it's fine. What was I going to say?
It's cheap as chips in Derby. That's I think that's why we sell so many tickets.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things, because I think with you guys in TNT at the minute, there's a lot of guys like Gonzalez, Tombe, Thorne and stuff that are in TNT. And if I had the choice, I'd probably pick you guys. And a lot of that isn't even just so much down to the wrestling. It's that Derby's 1,000 times cheaper than Liverpool is. Genuinely for like a night out or whatever. It's like it's ridiculous as well. But that's, I mean, Liverpool's still alright for a night out, but Jesus fucking Christ, it's fucking expensive. But hey, I'll stop moaning about fucking Liverpool. I'll get down there at some point, because then they've got that fucking show on. Is that the day before yours? Is that Saturday? I believe it's Saturday.
And it is, yeah. It's the Saturday, so you got like it's Drew Parker and Clint in Drew Parker's last.
That'll be good.
Here.
Yeah, that'll be. I saw people moaning about that online, because people moan online, and they were like, he's already had his last death match. I was like, well, yeah.
He had his last one in America, last one in Japan, and then last one here.
Exactly, it's like a little series, and you can make a DVD out of that.
Yeah, exactly. Tell them lads to get in their pants and get a dart.
Exactly.
Their backs. See how many deathmatch they have.
Exactly. What was I going to say? Moving in for... Oh yeah, and then we've got, for the next show, I was going to say for... we're speaking about Tombe. We've got Merck coming over from the States. I've only seen him... I love his fucking theme song. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I've got it on my phone somewhere, but he's got a fucking awesome theme.
I've not actually seen this.
I'll send it to you, but I remember, like, he was wrestling... It was ICW Olds Bard done some shows in Tennessee. And I think his home company's TWE Tennessee something wrestling, but they ran those shows and he was on them, and I was like, who the fuck's Mert? And there was music hit, and I was like, oh, I like this. And then him against Top, that'll be interesting, because I've seen him do a couple of matches. But how did you guys get in contact with him then?
I think, to be honest, it might have been through Gary J. I think they worked together, but he just. I don't know. I think it's just one of those things that sort of happens, how it always happens when we get imports. It just sort of like, oh shit.
They're here.
But he's coming over doing some dates. He's doing WXW in
oh,
Germany,
the German, okay.
They're pretty big. But again, he's taking advantage of being over, and he's doing like the camp shows and everything. He's doing Mega Slam, so you can see him all over the place. And I love it, because even like Alex Cologne, when he came over, he did like Mega Slam for a week, which is great. But the match is going to be wicked, I think, because obviously Tom being Tom, and Merck is also a very character-driven wrestler, so. It's two guys in costume shouting at each other.
Which is what you want. There's not enough. I said we got Tombe coming up for us in November, and he did a fucking excellent promo for that. And I don't think there's enough people shouting in wrestling these days.
No, that's all. I mean, his promos are about 5 minutes long as well.
Yeah, and it's just like, fucking hell, how did he keep that fucking going? But yeah, there used to be, like, in the 80s and the 90s, everybody was shouting. Now no one shouts. Now everybody whispers and tries to be like subtle, and you need a bit of shouting every now and then.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Then I was trying to think what the other matches were on the card. We've obviously got Kingsley against Thorne. That'll be the Kingsley's first death match. Darko against Clint. Fucking hell. For the Death Wolf title. Jesus Christ. I think that's the second time they've ever wrestled as well, which is a bit mental.
I think they've wrestled at Rise. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was only a couple of months ago. Was their first time ever, I think.
Yeah, so I believe so. Yeah, I think it was the Extreme Rumble match, wasn't it?
I was very, very drunk at that show.
That's not like you.
I know, but I think Radu Bulat said that to me. I was speaking to him at Kumite, and I was like, this is my first pint, and it was like the second match, and he's like, I don't believe you. I was like, genuinely. I wasn't sober by the end of the night, but whatever. What else have we got? We've got Joe against fucking Gonzalez. That'll be fucking awesome. Jesus Christ. We've got Alfie. She was great the first time I saw her. This would have been last July First time I saw her, she was excellent. I think it was her against Harley Harris.
It
One-on-one.
was, yeah.
Then it's a 3-way with Mystery. We've got Jason Joshua, Mark Adams. I think that'd be an open challenge, I believe.
It is an open challenge.
Roughneck probably beating the fuck out of Kyle Owens. And then we've also got the British Top Team. Always happy to have the British Top Team. Love them. My favourite stable in wrestling by a mile, against Franco Fate and Brad Matthews. So yeah, fucking fantastic.
I mean, that one, I'm looking forward to that one because it's just going to be like a double up in the last one because it's literally, they enjoyed it so much, we've had them back and they've brought their mates with them.
Yeah, it should be great. I think Semtex, I don't want to put him over too much, but Semtex is the fucking, like, I think in like a year or so he'll be in fucking AEW or WWE. He's great. He's a similar sort of character to Lou in that he's not, well, he's only been wrestling about 2 years, which is scary.
But he's obviously boxing, MMA and stuff like that. So it's a similar sort of conditioning. It's not like he just started doing. He just I'm going to start doing sports.
You're like, fuck it, let's go. I remember it. I think it was the last one of the last Rise shows I was up with you was that Rise or Die last year. And then we went through a table with barbed wire, and I lifted him out the table. I had to use both hands, so I was like, Jesus Christ! I'm only I'm a small man. I was like, fucking hell. But no, but that'll be interesting for it, and then that'll be like the end of the sort of summer season for you guys as well, and 2 full years of Kumite.
Yeah, that's it. The end of the season until. I think it's pretty much is it for this year. But we're already planning the stuff for next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a fucking crazy 2 years, to be honest. We seem to have done quite a lot in quite a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Which is great, which we wouldn't have been able to do without people like buying tickets, watching us on TV, buying t-shirts, podcasts like yourselves, and who else was there? We've been all over the podcast. It's been like fucking. We've sort of like hammered the press side of things every show. So we've had like me, Fletch. Antonio, sorry.
There's HCW. They've had you guys on as well.
Yeah, I'm on there tonight.
On there tonight, so bloody hell.
Yeah, so Antonio's on there, and they had Merc on as well. So yeah, and also Fear the Big Deals.
I've listened to so much of their stuff, and it's. I think I've listened to. I think I've listened to your one on there. I don't think. Maybe no, I've not. But I'll listen to that later on today. But like, I love them. But I don't know where they've sort of like come from, if that makes sense. Like, obviously they're from Liverpool, but like I assume they sort of like must go to like the TNT shows. But like I've never like met them or spoke to them or anything. But their podcast's really, really fucking good.
Yeah, it's really good. I listened to Antonio's on there yesterday.
I need to listen to that as well.
Yeah, it's good. And then Steve, the hardest working man in British wrestling, has got his own podcast now called Wrestling is Ridiculous spelt with a W. Which is just about stupid shit in wrestling, but we've all been on that list.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I like the format of like his questions and stuff, and he's like talking about like guilty pleasures and everything, and all that sort of shit.
No such thing as a guilty pleasure, mate.
Well, not really. I mean,
unless it's like burglary or something like that.
I mean, I was gonna say that, but I better not say like I wouldn't say what location, but I do quite like fly tipping. Like like something like a victimless crime, like fly tipping's actually quite a nice guilty pleasure. But obviously, don't tell anybody else that. Wouldn't say that. But I need to, aside from fly tipping, I do need to go and pick up some more stuff. I went to the dump yesterday and got more light tubes from one cunt who was there. I was like, can I take these? I was like, yeah, no problem. I went back today and I was like, can I take those? And he was like, no, you can't take anything. I was like, what a cunt, what a job's worth cunt. Just try to be nice to ask. But then the day before, people, what are you meant to do?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I've just as I pretty much got to the end of my stock, somebody messaged us yesterday and we've got some more coming for next year.
That's
so
good though.
There's like an endless circle of glass in my
I don't know, like these are pointless things that nobody else will notice, but there's a fucking stupid company called Any Lamp, and they were selling T8 light tubes. So you get a box of 25 T8 light tubes was 30 quid. This was about a month or two ago. Now they're £44 for that box.
Right.
So they're sticking the price up because they know that people like me and you will be desperate to get them, and then they'll be they're genuinely going to raise the prices until they run out of stock for them because they're cunts. But
we'll find them. We get them. We're like deathmatch wombles.
we'll get them exactly. Well, that's the thing is I've got a fair stock now. and I've not paid for a single one of them. But it's always a thing where I'm like waiting there impatiently for it. What was I going to say?
Yeah.
And then I've also managed to get some of those people that have tried to spam tickets now as well.
Yeah, they're all over the place. They're all over the place. I basically stopped putting sold out in the thing, because I think that's what it is. If you put sold out or like, because I was just putting, the last show sold out, so get your tickets while you can, and then within seconds it was like, Phyllis in Utah can't go to the she can't get a babysitter.
Oh yeah, that's the thing though, man. What was I going to say? But yeah, I mean, this year has been mental for you guys, and I think it's been, even though last year was really, really good, and you had stuff like Callum Butcher and Cologne and everything, I think this year's been better. Just with the standard of the shows and everything, and then hopefully next year's going to be even better as well. And I'll pitch for you. You guys should do a tournament, definitely at the Vines. That's
well, we'll have to see what we've got. Like I say, we have got some things planned for next year already, but we cannot divulge.
No, you cannot divulge. That's fine.
No, not at the moment. But we'll be back on it as soon as we can.
No, that's not too bad then.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? What's are you going to be heading to anything other sort of wrestling crap? Are you going to AEW or anything?
No, I'm not going to AEW. You're going to AEW, aren't you? That's like next weekend.
Yeah.
I'm quite surprised. Again, thank you to people who bought. We've sold a fuck ton of tickets again, and it's like AEW next week, and like Bloodstock's just gone, so a lot of people were at Bloodstock. So thank you for spending your money on coming to the Kumite.
No, it's
I was thinking, AEW. And another couple of sort of localist shows have sort of been pulled. I don't know whether it's it wouldn't be because of AEW, but for other reasons. But yeah, I'm going to Supersonic Festival to see Godflesh. In September.
I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are, but I can gather by the name what they might sound like.
Godflesh is sort of like industrial.
And like I'm trying to think of the only industrial. Do you like Skinny Puppy?
Yes.
Yeah, do you like that? All right, okay. I know who Skinny Puppy are. That's as far as industrial. I know who Tool are. I don't know how far in there.
No, Tool. They're just named after an instrument of industry.
Well, that's the thing though. Is like I feel like I've not went down the rabbit hole. I've not cared about music for a long time now. Aside from when I found that band called Morphine, and I was like, oh my god, a band.
Morphine were amazing. I saw them in like 1995.
Jammy bastard. But then I found them and I was like, oh, it came up on like a fucking Spotify thing, and I was like, what's this? Something I like that's very, very rare for him. And then I was like, oh, a new band, and then I was, he died in 2000. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he's been dead for about 20.
I was like, well, that'll be the end of that then. But yeah, I don't know. I need to go and see. I mean, there's the Fringes on now in Edinburgh, which is horrible.
You've got loads of stuff right outside your door.
Yeah, but none of it's.
You're not a fan, are you?
I don't mind. I don't mind cult. I mean, I hate culture in general, but like the fringe. The fringe is. I don't know.
A podcast about that.
I know. I mean, it's like the general. I like the culture of deathmatch wrestling. I like the culture of sort of like independent music and things like that. But the fringe is so. What's the word for it? Kind of safe now. The fringe. You used to be able to go to the fringe and like have no money and go and see like some of the most like not necessarily that things need to be offensive, but like the most offensive like weird comedy and music and art and things. Now it's all very kind of like on the like fence where they don't want to do anything that's too like quote unquote edgy, and like so now it kind of makes nothing really worth seeing. I mean, I want to go and see Stuart Lee. I've got tickets to go and see Stuart Lee, but I would go and see him if the Fringe were here or not type thing. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's definitely sort of fallen at the wayside. But I have been flyering there. I've not actually been standing on the street, adding to the mounds of waste on the streets of Edinburgh, but going into businesses and stuff. So yeah, it's been all right. But yeah, the Fringe is. If anybody thinks they're coming to the Fringe to see art, they've got another thing coming, I'd say, because it's not what it used. But maybe it's just not aimed at me. Maybe I'm very bitter and jaded. But who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
What was I going to say? But anyway, man, I'll let you go just now, and then I'll get this up tonight because I'll get this up slightly earlier than the last one that we done, and I'll get this up later on tonight, and then I would see you on Sunday, but unfortunately I won't. which is a shame.
Don't worry, I'll see you soon. Hopefully we're going to try and get up to your show in November.
That's fine.
How are your tickets going all right?
They're doing all right thus far. I think this is more. I think the thing with getting the flyers and shit has been with the Fringe being on. It's been all right for businesses, but obviously everybody's like, well, the Fringe is on. Who gives a fuck about anything else? The Fringe, hooray, the Fringe, whatever. But now I think when it gets to September and October is where the venue is right in the middle of Studentville. So that's when I'll be pelting into all the freshers and I'll get the student union and advertise it as a, what's the word for it, an art show and things like that. And so I think it'll do quite well just in the area that it is. But I mean, if you guys are looking for hotels and stuff, my work's about 5 minutes away and there's places that are like sort of Fawlty Towers-esque, but they're really, really cheap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not dumps, but like very like old places where right now they're charging maybe 350 quid a night, whereas in November it's about £60 a night. Yeah. Just because.
Yeah, we'll have to see. You'll have to see. Obviously, you've got pretty much all of our roster on the show.
Yeah, that's.
So we should be able to get a lift up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just kind of going to be like. I think the plan thus far is obviously having guys like Thorn and Joe and Tombe and Darko and things like that. It's more just to sort of show Scotland that there is a sort of like place for people. Yeah. To sort of, that's the thing. It's like the same with like you guys, like with like Joe and everything. Like you've sort of build your own people round established names and sort of bring other people in. But that's the idea. Who knows? Hopefully it pays off. Hopefully it pays off.
Unless you try, do you, mate? That's the thing.
Exactly, man. But anyway, fuck it. I'll go just now. But good luck for Sunday, and hopefully I'll see you in November or possibly sooner than then. Who knows?
Yes. Well, thank you for having me on.
No worries at all.
I'll just say before I go.
Yeah.
We've got new merch if people want to buy some.
Yes, you got merch. I do have some somewhere. I do have these. Wait, where are they? There's lots of stickers in a thing.
Oh yeah, we've got loads of those.
Yeah, there we go.
Of those back. And we've got new T-shirts that are a slightly different pink to the other ones. For anyone who's like really into collecting.
Well, I mean, you should. I mean, the only thing you do have that flag. I think
not anymore.
No, oh my God! Did somebody buy the flag? That's the thing.
Yeah, they did.
I do need to. The only thing, for me, obviously, we've got T-shirts, lovely T-shirts. But the only thing I do want to make, and I don't know, I'll speak to somebody about it, is getting beanie hats, embroidered beanie hats. But I don't know what the cost of them is to selling them, type thing, because I think they might be like mildly expensive to produce, but.
Yeah, there's a few things on our list that I want to look at. Beanie hats and patches for denim jackets.
Rolling papers. Rolling papers.
Yeah. Joe's done them before.
Yeah, I've got them somewhere up here as well.
Yeah, so yeah, we have talked about doing things like that.
Grinders.
What? Yeah. What are you implying? Why would we want herbal grinders for an art show?
For flavoured tobacco. What was it? That was one thing I did forget to mention before you went. Is I did see the nicest man in Deathmatch Wrestling. I know he always hates it when I bring him up. Danny Douglas, Deathmatch Outlaws have put the new thing. Not everyone's cup of tea. I love that poster.
Yeah, I totally forgot.
I just saw that today. Yeah. That looks fucking cool. He does so much for fucking Deathmatch Wrestling, and so do all the Deathmatch Outlaws, Doogie and Lee and James and everything, for the country, for the fucking UK, for Deathmatch Wrestling. But that looks cool. That is a fucking poster. That is.
It is, yeah, with a cup of tea with Joe.
Yeah, Joe and
reflection in it and some condiments. On
exactly. Some flavoured tobacco and some sweeteners. But yeah,
again, I wouldn't know what is. I mean, we do drink a lot of tea at the show.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to imply about people that like Deathmatch Wrestling. Who knows?
I was blown away by that first one that you did. Got a bit emotional about it, just because it's like, this is it. This is what we look. This is it. And it genuinely captures just in that little 10-15 minute video what it's like to be there and to work there and to be part of the team and stuff. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I totally forgot that he was doing it. obviously he's filmed all of the shows this year as well. But he did mention it to me that he was doing it, but I have a tendency to forget what people have told me unless I write it down.
Yeah, I'm the same.
But yeah, and then I saw that he'd announced it today, so I'm really looking forward to it.
I would say to like either him or you guys, like I'll send this to him anyway. You guys should get that printed as a poster, or he should get that printed as a poster, because that's fucking cool.
Yeah, well, I think probably you should say that. But after the season's finished, we're gonna do. We're having. Well, that's one of Danny's posters, obviously. Yeah. But our posters, we're doing like a poster pack where you can get all of the posters.
I'll definitely be getting that, because I'm gonna redo the whole wall. And I did for a while buy a lot of posters of like ICW and Olds Bar that I liked, but then I've sort of got to the point where I'm like, I didn't go to those shows.
Yeah.
I'll be like, why do I have these posters? Whereas now I've got posters of the shows I've actually been to and stuff in the UK, so I'd rather get that. So yeah, definitely. When you do that, give me a message. I'll get some of them.
Yeah, it's just the idea for it making us a bit of money over the off season, if you like. We're looking at a few merch things, like I said.
Koozies.
Possibility of doing some physical copies of stuff as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
But very limited runs if we do. Because we know you hipsters like a VHS. we got a finger on the pulse. Look where I'm sat.
Well,
fucking GameCube.
A GameCube. Mate. I've got a GameCube through the room. I should say that. Fucking GameCubes. But that.
Anyway, sorry, you did try to say bye to me.
No, it's not. It's all right. The only thing I will say is if anybody in their right mind has got a PlayStation 4 or anything, play Graveyard Keeper. You should play that. It's fucking great.
Yeah, I will. I've not heard of that.
You ever heard of that stupid game for where people look after a farm? That Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah. I've got loads of shit like that.
It's like that. But you're a guy that owns a graveyard, and you get a body, and it gets so many sin points, and if it's too sinful, you can dig them up and throw them in the river. You flay their skin off and make books with it, and you've got a skull that follows you around that you have to feed wine and stuff. It's really good.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
I
have got a PS4, but
yeah,
like the only modern games that we bought, we had like. Last year's WWE game, because some guy had made all of us on it, so we bought it.
I know the guy who you mean.
At the time when we're on our time of not being a wrestling company, we just pretended to be one on that on PlayStation. But yeah, the latest game that I bought was the new Ninja Turtles game, which is the same as the 80s ones.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Says that all the new stuff that I like is just.
Well, that's where the money is. That's where the money is. It's nostalgia. That's all that people want is nostalgia. Like, because they had that new Ghostbusters movie that I saw, which is a pile of fucking trash. And then I don't think Ghostbusters is really my cup of tea anyway, but I think it's kind of missing the point. But yeah, anyway, Graveyard Keeper. Yeah. I got it on PlayStation for £2.
Wicked.
And I've put about 40 hours into it, making my little graveyard, and you can make gold and all sorts of shit. Anyway.
Brilliant. I might do that. That's basically, I'm killing time now until Sunday, if I'm perfectly honest, because all of my props are ready. Sorry, gimmicks. Let's not give it away.
Can't be calling them props.
Done, so I'm just sitting around in my little Heiko Kamori room with a stack of films. I've actually got every single Police Academy film.
Oh my god!
That's seen the sort of quality we're going for.
What's the one I've seen? I think I've probably seen all of them over my time. What's the one where they go to the Blue Oyster and they're dancing with the guy?
That's like all of them.
It's like that
happens in like the first 3 films.
Is it? Oh yeah. I just remember like them like going there and like they're having to like dance with these guys and they don't really want to be danced with and they're taking it very seriously. I remember that was really funny.
Yeah. I mean, everybody else hates Police Academy. The reason they're there up here is because my wife won't let me watch them downstairs. She says they're awful 80s racist rubbish, and to be honest, she's not wrong.
I mean that's, you could say that about the Carry On movies as well, but
well, exactly. I'm not allowed to watch them either. Speaking of me and Fletch tried to watch On the Buses recently.
That's
even worse.
Now that's a top tier funny British. I mean that's, I don't know. If you're gonna watch like what was the fucking name of the thing? What was the thing with Frank Spencer in it?
Some others do have
Yes, stuff like that's excellent and stuff like that. But then again, you can't watch things like that these days. You know what I mean? But I make myself sound a lot older than I am by watching all this pish. But oh well. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm a sitcom man, mate. I don't care. I'll watch Hyacinth Bouquet to the fucking Friends fellas.
But no, that's cool, man. But
cool, yeah, I'll stop barbling now.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I'll leave you to your day.
I'm doing absolutely fuck all today. I'm editing some sort of crap. I'm going to try to figure out a name for a podcast, like a Spotify one, like a real person, like a real show. But I don't know what the name for it is. I've ordered.
Call it Bleeding Gums Wrestling Podcast.
This is the thing, is I want to make it overly.
The name.
I don't know. I want to make it overly complicated for myself. I don't know. Because that's the thing, is in my head I've been trying to think of like funny names, but then I lost my light. I should have been in marketing, but I'm not. So fuck it. But anyway, I'll let you go just now, and we're gonna try and watch some sort of pish on TV later on. I did watch some crap with Orlando Bloom in it that you might hate called Carnival Row.
Oh yeah,
great.
I've seen that. I think it's on. I know it's on the TV at the minute. I watched a film called Underwater the other night, and I really enjoyed it.
Is that about the fish man?
No, it's not about a fish man.
No, a man? Did they not like remake Creature from the Black Lagoon recently?
Oh, kind of, yeah. But no, it's not that. It's a bit like Aliens, but underwater. In fact, it's totally like Aliens.
It's just aliens, but they're underwater. Right, okay.
Wicked. So that's it. Just aliens. Like again, it's just something from the 80s, but they've done it again.
But it's underwater.
So I like it.
It's underwater though, so it's kind of different, I suppose.
Yeah, underwater.
Yeah, fair enough. But right, anyway, man, I'll let you go just now, and then I'll edit this until I can think of something else rambly that I was going to talk about. I can't remember now. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll leave you. I've just realised the sun is beating in through this window on my face. I look a little bit like the Blue Meanie.
I mean, he's a widely respected wrestling icon, the Blue Meanie, so it's all right.
Yeah, I can shield myself from the sun.
Like a vampire. That's one thing I do want to see before I go. I keep rambling now. There's some new movie about Dracula, but it's like one particular chapter of the book where they're on the. It's like the name of the whole film's basically the ship that goes from wherever it's not Transylvania, wherever he's meant to be from, to London. He's on a boat, and when they find the boat, there's nothing on it. There's no crew apart from his sort of coffin in a box.
Yeah.
The film is about how the crew disappear.
Oh, amazing!
But I mean, you already know that they're going to die.
Yeah, they got eaten by vampires. Mate.
Yeah, so what's the point in watching it? You know what I mean? It's kind of defeats the. It was like when they made that. I don't know if you're a Star Wars guy, but
yeah.
I mean, like they made that Rogue One. They made that.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're gonna. Yeah.
And you're like, well, you're like, wow, like they get the plans right. I know.
But you know everyone's gonna.
Yeah,
die.
it's like that Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Like, I watched that and I thought this is quite good. I like Ewan McGregor and this, and then I think, well, neither of them are going to die, so what's the point of any of it?
Yeah, I mean that was a little bit better than the Andor. I didn't rate Andor at all.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, no, it's just miserable. That's the best way to explain it. Is that noise? I think.
I liked the Boba Fett one, and everybody hated that.
Well, it's alright. It's Star Wars, isn't it? I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. This is like we were talking about earlier on. I'm not going to complain about Star Wars because I'm 45 years old.
Yeah, but that's. I think there's a difference about like having a chat and complaining about it rather than making that your entire personality.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I mean, obviously, I've got an opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, obviously, I don't think the new ones are as good as they were 30 years ago.
Shit.
But 30 years ago, I was 10 years old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I always say. It's like all these people now are saying like WWE isn't as good as it was when Stone Cold was around. These same people, like the kids now, are going to be saying in 20 years' time, where's Cody Rhodes?
I will happily say I've never said that in my life, but
it's not. You know,
but my one of my best friends, Steve-O, he's a massive fan of the Attitude Era and everything. And every time it comes to WrestleMania, he'll send me an article from NWO 420 WCW69.com or whatever, and he'd be like, yeah, he's like, Austin's coming back this year again, The Rock's coming back, and I'm like, Steve-O, like, it's 2023, get over it, like, fucking move on with your life.
Yeah. I mean, I love Sting.
I know, everybody loves Sting.
I don't want to watch him jumping off ladders.
He's at AEW, so I'll get to see him live. I'll send a video of me booing. I'll send it to you and Darko of me booing Sting at AEW. That'll be funny. He's in a.
That's the only reason I get fucking tickets against this Sting.
He's in a random match. He's with Darby Allin against fucking AR Fox and Shane Strickland, and it's a casket match.
Casket match. Sting in a casket match.
Sold. You're sold anyway. You're sold. That's fine. Anyway, right. That's enough rambling. We've carried on long enough now. Anyway, right, man. I'll let you go just now, and then good luck for Sunday. And I will. I'll try and. I'm sure something wrestling and stuff will take videos and stuff, so I'll be able to get to see it. But
yes, they're heavily involved in the Alton Thorn Deathmatch.
Good.
So there'll be loads of footage about. But yeah, thank you for having me on again for the last time of the year. It's been fun.
It's been emotional. It's been emotional, like Vinnie Jones would say.
It genuinely has for me. So yeah, it's going to be weird for a bit of time off.
Yeah, but it's not bad. I do think that there should be, like, I think that's a lot of why people get desensitized with WWE and AEW is there's not an off season.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the cycle.
I know. Yeah, it's constantly going on. I mean, we couldn't do what we do every month.
No.
Like people get fed up, and it's more an event. If you do like 3 or 4, 5 shows a year, then it makes it more important than if you're going every month, because it's more like, because people will be telling like, oh, I can't go to the August one, so I'll just go and see them in September, and you never get around to going.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we made every show a bit of an event. Well, totally is an event. It's a fucking outdoor wrestling show that goes on the telly. So, but yeah, thank you to everyone for the support, because we literally couldn't do it without people buying tickets and shit like that, and all the podcasts, and everyone's been really great to us. So
perfect.
Thank you.
No worries at all. Anyway, I'll go just now, man. Take it easy, and
Alright, see you later. I'm gonna get this fucking fiery ball out of my face.
No worries, man. Take it easy, man. Cheers.
See you later, mate. Bye bye.
Bye bye.